Hi, I'm Mindy of Henlia Handmade. Welcome to our knitting chair chat. So today I wanted to just sort of have more of a conversation today about my current knitting, my summer knitting plans, and what to expect from me and Henlia Handmade over the upcoming summer months. So my children have 4 more weeks of school, and then they're going to be home a lot more. So I just wanted to talk more about what my plans are, because if you've been with Henlia Handmade for a while, you will know that sometimes consistency in my business has been difficult when my kids are around more often. So anyway, I want to share a little bit more about that, and I'll talk about that after I talk a bit about my knitting, because I think sometimes it's good to just step back from, the tools, the unboxing, the sort of more educational things that I try to share, sustainable knitting, being eco-friendly. Sometimes it's just fun to step back and just talk about what we really love, the actual knitting, right? Okay, so this is my current sweater project that I'm working on. It's called Laia or maybe something else, by Isabell Kraemer. And it's coming along. It's coming along, maybe a little bit more slowly than I was expecting for it to, but it is a fingering weight sweater after all. So, and I always knit for the pure enjoyment. I try really hard not to set deadlines for myself, because I want to continue to love knitting as I have loved it for so many years. And so, I'm doing this for fun. So I'm not going to put pressure on myself. So I'm using some Noro yarn that I picked up at my local yarn shop, Wooltown Bend, and I have thoughts on it. This was my first experience using Noro yarn, and I was expecting to fall completely in love with it because I know so many people absolutely love it. This is a cotton silk blend of sorts. I'll have to look up the details, but I think it's worth doing a full episode once I've finished my sweater to talk just about the yarn and the sweater pattern. But it's coming along right now, and I've separated for the sleeves, so hopefully the body now will sort of knit pretty quickly. Notice I have the sleeves on my knit keeper cords. I'll link those. I've talked about those before in my favorite tools video. But it's really soft, and I'm hoping that I will be able to wear it sometime this summer. I don't know. We'll see. Here I'm in Central Oregon, where in the high desert, where it gets very cold at night still, even in the summertime. So, and the mornings is usually quite cool too. So, my favorite thing to do in the summertime is to sit on my porch with my morning cup of tea and knit. And so, I've found that many times I still need a light layer, a light sweater. I have some blankets that, like lightweight, like muslin blankets that I use out there on my porch as well during the summertime. So, we'll see, because I don't have any set deadline for that. That doesn't mean that I don't have more plans. So, I had originally planned on making this next project before I started in on this Noro sweater. But I decided that because it was like a cotton blend, I thought maybe if I finished it, I don't know. I always set probably unrealistic expectations for myself, but when it comes to my knitting projects. But I guess I was kind of expecting to be finishing that up pretty soon. So I was thinking that it would be a good summer sweater to have for the bulk of the summer. But I had another fingering weight sweater planned before I casted on that one. When I saw this sweater pattern come out by one of my favorite knitwear designers, Kavitha. I'm sorry, I always say your name wrong, Kavitha. Of Craftdoodling Designs. She has done a collaboration with me in the past. She designed a beautiful shawl and with Henlia Handmade yarn. But she came out with this very clever sweater design. I think it's pronounced Niyat or Niyat. And I'll be sure to link that for you. But the cool thing about this sweater is that she has designed it to have different sleeves, not sleeve styles, sleeve sizes. So it is, I believe it's top down. Oh my goodness, I just assumed it was top down. But you can obviously choose the body length, but then also based on your arm circumference, which is always an issue for me with sweater patterns. No, it's not always an issue for me, but I've noticed that the sleeve length, I've talked about this more than you probably care to hear, but my sleeve lengths always end up shrinking as I wear my sweaters because I think the width of my upper arms kind of sucks up the yarn. Does that make any sense? As the yarn has to stretch in circumference for my yarn, it shrinks up the length of my sleeves. So I always try to knit my sleeves, but it's not uncomfortable. So I don't like change my stitch count for my sleeves. Anyway, sleeves are always the biggest issue for me when I'm knitting sweaters. So anyway, I think maybe Kavitha has experienced maybe something like this herself, or perhaps has heard that other knitters have experienced the same phenomenon. I don't think I'm unique in this. So she has designed this sweater, and I haven't looked through the details exactly on how it works, but you can actually choose which sleeve width you're going to knit. Circumference. Which sleeve circumference you're going to knit. So I'm super curious to get this started. It has some really cool lace details and some baubles. It looks like just a beautiful sweater. So I have this in the pipelines for my next project, my next sweater project. And I chose the Henlia Handmade colorway Green Goblin to knit this in. This yarn was part of the my late fall, early winter collection, and I set these aside for myself because I really wanted to make a sweater. The heathered pink was also in that collection, and I had a really hard time choosing which colorway to knit this sweater in, and I ended up going with the pink. I'm really happy that I did, but I really wanted to try this green. So I set this aside specifically for this sweater project when I think this sweater came out, I think it was the beginning of January 2023. And so I set this aside so that I could make this sweater with this yarn. I'm excited to see how it looks knit up, because it's more of a tonal than what I normally create. And it was just from the natural way the natural dye took to the yarn, because this was dyed with weld, and I'm getting sidetracked, but weld you can use an additive to the dye bath to have it turn more of a brighter color and a brighter yellow. So anyway, it was just really interesting how it took to this yarn. This was a light gray base yarn, so I was dyeing basically yellow over gray, which was a really fun experiment. So my other summer knitting project, because 2 fingering weight sweaters isn't enough, I also would like to finish my reed shawl. This shawl is also by Kavitha of Craftdoodling Designs. But this was the shawl that I started knitting for my last collection, the Desert Bloom collection, to kind of show off what this colorway, Monkey Flower, looks like when knitted. So I was going to knit a swatch, and then I thought, why knit a swatch when I can just start a shawl? So that's this. And I haven't gotten any further, I think, than when I took the pictures to show how this was knitting up. And so because I was trying to finish, I was actually trying to finish this sweater. So I set it aside to finish this sweater, and then I immediately cast it on for my next sweater. But I really would like to finish this shawl because I haven't made a shawl. Oh no, that's not true. I did knit a shawl in last fall, winter. So I would like to knit. I want to finish it. I just don't like to have. It's too easy for me to start projects for the sake of showing a colorway and then not finishing it. So I want to finish it. Okay, so now let's talk about Henlia Handmade. Those are my most immediate knitting plans. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, when my children are around more often, it's just harder for me to do the business things that I need to do to keep Henlia Handmade running. I'm trying out some new systems so that I can be more consistent, but I'm not making any promises because my family comes first, and I know you have been so supportive of that, of that aspect of Henlia Handmade, and I really, really appreciate it. With that said, though, I still do want to do a summer launch, maybe a mini launch, or maybe a summer launch and a mini launch. I have a few things planned. So, in terms of colorways, I guess I should specify that. I have some ideas that I really want to get put onto yarn and out into the world for you. So I have a summer launch planned, or mini launch, or both. I'm not sure yet, depending on how the colorways develop in the dye pots, and what I decide, how I decide to continue from there. So you can look forward to at least some new yarn from Henlia Handmade this summer. And then the other thing I wanted to mention was Henlia Handmade's anniversary. So I will be celebrating Henlia Handmade's 4th anniversary in August, 4th anniversary of when I opened Henlia Handmade. And I feel like I'm saying Henlia Handmade too many times. How many times can I say Henlia Handmade in in a 3-minute period? Anyway, okay, I'm going a little more off the cuff for this video than what I have been doing recently, and I'm gonna see how it goes because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter why. It doesn't matter why. Okay, so the other thing that I wanted to mention today. So if you have been around for a while, in 2020, I did a big anniversary party. I just wanted to celebrate the fact that Henlia Handmade had been open for business for a full year. So I have, I'm still definitely in the planning stages for this, but I'm throwing this out here to keep, to keep me accountable, because that was so much fun. I'm trying to really lean into the aspects of this business that I find so life-giving, like the Mother's Day boxes. And the other thing that I've done, over the course of the life of Henlia Handmade was the first anniversary party in August of 2020. And it was so much fun. I loved it, and I think you loved it if you were around for that. And I would like to do it again. And it's not going to be the same, but I'm in the planning stages for it. Let's just leave it at that. And my goal then, of course, would be to do it in August when the anniversary is. And we will see what happens. I'm working on it. I'm excited about what I have going so far. And we'll see what happens. We'll see how it develops. I will definitely keep you in the loop and let you know more as I know more as well. So, okay, the last thing I wanted to mention today, I'm trying to keep this a little bit shorter today, but the last thing I wanted to mention, would you have any interest in me doing some little garden episodes? I don't profess to be a real great gardener. I'm certainly not a master gardener. And in in this high desert climate, we have a short growing season, and so many garden pests that I haven't had huge successes in the past. However, I'm really hoping to get more dye plants in my garden this year. So I have done some planting. I'm sure a lot of you are saying, "What? You haven't even really gotten started on this yet?" No, it was 33 degrees this morning when I woke up. So our ground temperatures are still not super warm, but the trend is definitely warming up. And yes, I have put plants in the ground and I have planted some seeds. I just haven't planted everything. And now I feel like is the time. So kind of the rule around here is Memorial Day is when people really get serious about planting. And so our first freeze usually happens sometime in September. So to combat the short growing season, a lot of us will just plant established plants rather than seeds. But I have a bunch of dye seeds that I do want to get in the ground. Anyway, if you are interested in that at all, do let me know, because I'm still trying to work out a way to record it better than what I started doing this in 2020. And I think this is actually kind of how my YouTube channel started, was I was trying to do regular garden updates for you. But the sound quality was so poor because it's windy much of the day. And so I'm still working on a way to be able to record the sound better for you. So I don't know, maybe I could just add at the end of my weekly episodes, maybe I could just add a little garden clip. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you have any interest in it whatsoever. Maybe I don't need to dedicate entire episodes to it, and it would be better to just put in little blips here and there. So let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you think about it. And really, that's all I wanted to share today. I just really kind of wanted to maybe just do like a more personal episode. I kind of feel like I don't know where. I'm just trying new things. So if you are new to Henlia Handmade and you have still stuck around to the end, thank you. I appreciate that. If you enjoyed this, I would really appreciate you hitting the like button, the subscribe button if you would like to see more of these videos. The notifications bell is there so that you're notified when I put up new episodes. So hitting all 3 of those is really, really great. If you like this and are enjoying this, and it helps my little channel grow here and become more visible to more people, more knitters like yourself. I will include some links for you down below. If you'd like to see what I have dyed up in my shop, it's all naturally dyed on US yarn, and that my website is henliahandmade.com, but I'll put the link down there for you. And if you are new to me and are curious about trying naturally dyed yarn for the first time, I'd love to give you a 20% discount, and I'll give you the link for that. I'm also hosting a private community for knitters called the Knit Mini Together community. And if you have interest in that, your support for that private community helps me. Basically, it just helps me keep Henlia Handmade going. We're still a really small group. My hope is to grow and be able to make more content for you. And I'll put the link for that down below as well. So those are the things that I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed watching today. Do please hit the like button at a bare minimum, because it does really help tell the algorithm that it's good content, and to share it more. So thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting my channel, my business, and me. So thank you. Have a warm and woolly day.